Tekken 8 Season 2 is finally upon us, and it might just be the most hated season in fighting game history. So people had high expectations, especially when the developers on the Evo YouTube channel did a video talking about how they want to increase the defensive aspects of Tekken and focus on the lateral movement, which really separates 3D fighting games from 2D fighting games. But what we got was not exactly that. The main criticism for Tekken 8 Season 2 is that it's just too heavily offense focused. We know that Tekken 8 is an aggressive game, they've said that many times, and they actually doubled down on this approach. I'll be honest with you, I don't mind Tekken 8 being more aggressive than previous Tekken games, but not at the expense of interesting gameplay, and that's what a lot of people have a problem with, is that Tekken 8 Season 2 just doesn't seem very interesting. There are way more homing moves in the game now, especially homing mids, and a lot of them are even plus on block, that it makes sidestepping less viable, even if the sidestepping is technically stronger in isolation. One problem that I've had with Tekken for quite a while now, since Tekken 7, but especially in Tekken 8, a lot of people are saying, is that it's just too stance focused. They seem to think that if you give a character stances, it makes it more approachable for a beginner to say, I want to pick up this character, learn their stances. It doesn't work that way. It's actually the exact opposite. It makes a character way more intimidating to look at. Just look at the most popular characters in the game. Brian, King, Kazuya. These are not characters that are known for having stances. Yet if you take characters like Zafina, casuals aren't playing them. Another thing that people are getting really upset about is the homogenization of the cast. See, when Tekken 8 was first releasing, the developers said that they want to focus on the uniqueness of each character, and I think they did that well to an extent. Definitely gave everyone a really interesting look. They added character interactions that we haven't seen before. We had team win animations in Tekken Tag 2, but we've never had characters talk to each other before a match. And they're really focusing on personality in the way that the characters are displayed, but in the way that characters are played, they've really done the opposite. And again, we saw this happening in Tekken 7 to an extent, but in Tekken 8, they've really gone all out and they're like, we want every character to run in with pressure for free into stance or into a mix-up situation, and the defender just has to hold it. Like Brian, for example, I'll use him again. Why are they trying to turn Brian into a mix-up character? He's clearly a mid-range space control character who really thrives on counter hits and reading the opponent's timing. Why are they trying to give him mix-ups? You can see that they're just trying to make things way easier. Look at these Shaheen patch notes where they said that he's a well-balanced character in Season 1 with strong offensive and defensive capabilities, but he's difficult to use effectively, so they've just given him this down one move just to make him easier. That's literally what they've said in the patch notes. It's crazy. And again, they're doing what they did in Tekken 7, where they just made combos do way more damage for no reason. We already had combos that did really high damage and were really long, would always take you to the wall. They're doing exactly what they did in Tekken 7, just buffing combos like crazy. No one wants to sit there for like 20 seconds just watching their opponent's combo, honestly. What I really don't like as well, they're taking away a lot of the cool Tekken stuff that's just been there for ages, like the key charge change. Why did they make it so that key charge don't counter hit anymore? It was very rare you'd actually see this in gameplay, like people just key charge to do a counter hit. Occasionally, like they showed the Hwoarang example, and I think they changed it just because they didn't want Hwoarang to be able to do his key charge setup anymore. Well, who cares? It's one character, right? The way I see it is a creative use of a mechanic that's pretty weak, right? But they just don't want you to do cool stuff anymore. If you really don't like that, there must be a way to just take it out for Hwoarang for that one setup, right? It makes labbing stuff way longer as well. It already takes ages to lab a matchup. Now you've got to toggle the counter hit on in the menu every time, which is crazy. They did another one as well that actually is technically a buff to my main character King, but I really don't like it in that he has a throw, a figure 4 throw, down back 2+3. Opponent can specifically time a button press and it will actually counter the figure 4, so the opponent would like roll over and reverse the figure 4, so the king player takes a little bit of damage as well. It's like really frame tight, and you'd never even see the king player go for throw in the first place, let alone someone actually do the reversal to it. But it's just one of those cool legacy animations that you could do. It's a bit like how they took out chicken as well, like just for no reason. What else people are complaining about as well that I totally understand is that they just made some combos like way easier to do. Like Leo's K and K cancels just got like a way easier as well. You know, normally this is the part of the video where I include quotes from high level players or commentators, etc., just talking about their thoughts on season 2, but literally every single person apart from Shadow that I've seen on the timeline has been extremely negative about this patch. Like Arson Ash, Rip, Kokoma, literally everyone I've seen on the timeline is just so negative about this. I think what all of this really boils down to is that there's a real misunderstanding from the developer side of what makes Tekken fun, not just for competitive players but also for casual players as well. For example, they seem to think that the only thing fun about Tekken is being on the offensive, and that's honestly not true. Like, everyone keeps saying how much they want defensive options. This happened in like Street Fighter 5 as well, so this isn't new to fighting games. 50-50s will always exist in fighting games, that's not an issue at all, but they want the whole game to be 50-50 seemingly, and it's just not fun for either player to play like that. And they seem to think that casual players are more likely to play if the game is easier, but I don't see how that could possibly be true, because if you're a casual player, you don't know how easy or hard the game is because you're not in the zone of trying to get better at the game. You're just playing for fun, right? I was a casual player for like my entire childhood. I wasn't thinking about what's harder, Tekken or Street Fighter. I didn't know, I didn't care, right? I started playing Tekken competitively just because I thought it was cool and I liked it. Like, if I look at all of my friends who are casuals as well, if I was to ask every single one of them, why do you not play Tekken competitively? I can guarantee you, none of them would say because it's too hard. None of them would say that. And keep in mind as well that even if it is the case that all casual players would play competitively if it was easier, keep in mind that the easier it gets for the attacker, the harder it gets for the defender. Do you understand? I think there's just real miscommunication, like a misunderstanding on the developers' part. They really just don't seem to understand what people like about Tekken at all. Tekken's changed a lot over the years in terms of its presentation. Like if you look at the old Tekken games, they look and sound completely different. I remember when Tekken Tag 2 came out, I was really surprised by all the neon and stuff like that, and the soundtrack style changed so much. So it's only natural that things will change in that sense, but in this sense it's just like, man, do they really know what they're doing? Do they actually really know what people want? I don't think they do. And not just competitive players, I don't even think they know what casual players want. But casual players, you just want to see your favourite characters do cool stuff, and cool stuff doesn't mean like +5 on block, mid-homing launcher. They don't know what that means, you know what I mean? They don't know what that means and they don't care. Think about like Tekken 5, like, there's nothing flashy really in that game, but people still think it's really cool, and like Tekken 3 as well. Like, these are the best selling Tekken games, and like Tekken 7 as well. The game's been review bombed as well for like I think the 3rd time on Steam. Honestly, I still do think that most people will keep playing the game, but yeah, it's not a good look to have the whole fan base just going crazy, and it's obviously gone way past just the Tekken fans as well. Other fighting game players obviously aware of what's happening with Tekken 8 right now. It sounds harsh to say, but honestly, without Harada, I'm not really very confident about the future of the game, because keep in mind that it was really, if memory serves, it was really around the time that Harada sort of stepped away from Tekken a little bit in Tekken 7 that things started to get a bit mad in that game. I remember when Michael Murray took over as like the head guy in Tekken 7, people were really optimistic at first because he put frame data in the game at last. So that was good. Since then, obviously Harada has had a very different role at Bandai Namco, so while he is involved in Tekken 8, he's not always hands-on with it. More like Michael Murray and Nakatsu are like the top 2 guys in Tekken 8. And honestly, the track record for Michael Murray has not been great since he took over from Harada. And obviously Nakatsu is really more coming to prominence in Tekken 8, and track record's not looking great. I gotta be honest, I do worry about the future of the game without Harada as that main guy. Mind as well that Harada was the one that called this emergency meeting that they had recently in response to fan backlash, while Michael Murray was retweeting people saying that they should be patient for the actual patch to drop. So Harada was the one who was on the ball there, and I think he's gonna have to do something major. I'm not saying they're gonna like revert the season 2 changes, that's obviously not gonna happen. Anyway, do let me know what you think. I've rambled on enough. I want to hear what you guys will think in the comments. Is there anyone out there who actually is happy with the changes? I'd like to know about that as well. Yeah, take care guys, let's just hope for the best. Peace, thanks for watching.